always, you pick the highway that seems to be the best, and then, on the day that you're trying to get through the fastest, that's when the rarest thing will happen and slow down everybody. But,
yeah, I was hoping it wouldn't back up that bad. It's near McKellen, Sorters McKellen, I think it is. And they blocked off 4 or 5 lanes.
yeah, sounds pretty bad, but just gotta be thankful that you're not the one in the accident, I guess. Anyway, what else is going on out there? Anything new?
No, just trying to make it off the freeway because everybody's driving like some good terms, or whatever you want to fill in the blank with, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, nothing much. Just thought I would get off work and get home early because I left work at 1. It's now 3, so it's been 2 hours since I left work.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Probably thinking, man, I should have just stayed at work making more money for 2 hours and then get home at the same time anyway, right?
Yeah, for real, ain't that the truth? Then I get off early on Friday.
Yeah. You guys were talking about that new technology earlier, and it reminded me of something that used to crack me up, man, back in Morris, Illinois, before we moved to Texas. There was this little motel, and it was, you could tell it had been there for a long time. It wasn't in very good condition, but it was still open, and anyway, they were obviously pretty outdated. And they still had a sign out front that said, "Color television inside." That was their biggest attraction, color television.
Yeah, it sounds just a little bit outdated by just a smidge.
Yeah, how about that? I wonder if they still got that sign up there, and if it's still drawing people in. I just found out, though, that the place that was right across the street from there, we used to go to this restaurant called the Morris Diner and Pancake House. We used to go there quite a bit. That was like our favorite restaurant, family restaurant in Morris. And it just burned down, man.
Wow, that's no bueno. Yeah. Hold on, give me a second. I got somebody making a phone call.
I took his car, and my car was dead again. It took me to stop. How you do that every day?
What's going on over there, Brandon? Are you PTTing on purpose? I'm not even sure if that's you. I'm just guessing. KJ5JNJ.
Yeah, negative on that. I got a phone call going in the background, and I'll catch you in a minute. KJ5AJ, Jim.
Yeah, I heard you say that, and then I heard somebody, like they were talking on the phone. Sounded like maybe you were keying up by accident once in a while. Are you guys on VOX or something? I don't know. Anyway, maybe it wasn't you. I was just curious. KJ5JNJ, standing by.
Yeah, I don't think it was me. I'm sorry, I took off the phone. I don't think it was me, but then again, I was holding the mic, so it's very, very plausible that possibly it could have been me. I didn't think I clicked it, though.
Yeah, that's a sign of a ham radio addiction. You're pressing the button, you don't even know it, man. It's involuntary now.
Yeah, my mom called and she was giving me an update on her car because her car broke down yesterday, so I had to go rescue her. And then my dad couldn't get it started. It took him an hour to get it started today. Give me a second, I gotta make a turn. So he left early to try to get the battery replaced, because it's a bad battery, and get it replaced. It's a $320 battery because there's sensors in it for the car. And I was like, that sounds ridiculous. And then he was all mad about that, going to work, got a ticket.
Oh, man. Not a good day, huh? Well, I feel for him, but something's, you know, there's always something going on in the background when you got stuff like that going on. May not understand it, but, you know, it'll probably all come full circle here at some point, and then he'll be like, ah, okay, that's what this is all about.
Oh, I was going to text you earlier, but I forgot. So I work down in Stafford, and I didn't see it because I didn't notice it because I went a different route than the other guys because they live in a different part of the city than I do. I'm like, hey, did you see all the lights when you came in? I was like, oh, I didn't see any lights. He's like, well, there's a news chopper flying around. I think it's Fox. So I started Googling Fox, didn't find nothing. Well, it might have been ABC, so I Googled ABC's helicopter feed, and apparently there was a shootout like 30 seconds from my work. And guy took somebody else's life, took his own life, and then it was getting in a shootout with the police on top of it, and was unsuccessful. And luckily, the police officer that was involved that got hit, it hit his radio, and now he's good, and he didn't get injured, which is phenomenal. But I was like, man, today's gonna be a wild day. And then I get home, or on the way home, and I pass through a construction zone. It takes me 30 minutes, and I pass by a wreck of a semi. And I'm like, it's just a wild day. I think I'll go home and just sit down.
crazy. And I think I heard that chopper go over us. There was a big one that went over us when I was at the academy earlier. So, I don't know, might have been, maybe not, but anyway, pretty crazy. Yeah, and really sorry to hear about that radio that got hit, man.
Well, better the radio than him, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, that was at like 5:30 a.m. And the chopper was doing hot laps till like 6 a.m. down in Stafford.
Yeah, copy. Yeah, of course, I'm making a bad radio joke, man. Of course, it's very good that no humans were hurt during that story. But, you know, as radio folk, we have a heart for the radios that got hurt. No, anyway, that's pretty wild. And then I also saw, I'm sure it's totally unrelated because of the location, but I saw 2 or 3 police pulled over on the side of, well, it was either 45 or the feeder road. Yeah, I guess I can't remember exactly where it was. I don't think it was on 45 though, but it must have been the feeder somewhere. And they were like, there was like a clearing and some trees there, like a tree line, and they were parked there at that clearing, and they were kind of standing there looking off into the clearing. I don't know what was going on there.
Oh, we were Googling, trying to figure out what was wrong on 59. Apparently, I think it's near 59 where 1960 is. There was, they pulled over a suspicious car and then had to call the bomb squad.
Oh boy. What a mess, man. What is wrong with today? Okay, it's my daughter's birthday. I better not tell her about any of this stuff. Glad she's not listening. But, yeah, today's my daughter's birthday. It's September 4th, so it's not like the 13th or something, Friday the 13th, you know. I don't know, man. It's a wild day. We better watch out. And I got to go back out soon.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, you know what? With my luck, I think I'm going to sit at home, not go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, can't have havoc, or end up next to some havoc today. That just seems like a wild day for everybody. And, yeah, my birthday is next week.
Well, that's cool, man. Don't blame me if I have a hard time getting excited, though, because I just went through 3 birthdays almost right in a row. So I'm kind of birthdayed out. So I'm just going to be like, another birthday. Okay, great. How much money do you want?
Comment. Yeah, go ahead, comment.
Yeah, I got a next week too, and I take $100. This is KI5UBE.
Oh no, I'm redacting what I said. Y'all are coming out of the woodwork now for this money. I shouldn't have mentioned that money. KJ5JNJ, go ahead.
Yeah, no joke. Mine's September 7th. I guess that was the New Year, baby.
Mine's the 9th.
You know, my wife's birthday is the 9th. That's how I can remember it. It's just 2 days off from mine.
That makes it even funnier now.
I'm home, but I had to comment, so this is KI5WBE, and we're out 73.
Alrighty there. Thanks for your input, sir. You have a great day. And Yeah, it was my wife's birthday on the 30th. My youngest daughter's on the 31st, and now my oldest daughter's today. Oh, and my dad's 2 days ago.
Man, you should have mixed up those times a little bit. But then again, we're no better. We got December 2nd, December 31st, and January 14th.
Yeah, I always feel bad for people that have birthdays like that, you know, because it's so easy to like, oh, you know, you two have birthdays close to the same time. Let's just have one party for both of you. You know, like we often do that. One party for all three of you, because they're all about the same. They're all in the same week, you know. Like, how can we have 3 parties in 1 week on top of everything else we do anyway, right? It's just not possible. But still, the birthday boy or girl gets ripped off, you know. Or like those that have their birthday on Christmas or right before or right after, man, they ain't getting nothing for their birthday. They might get a bunch of stuff for Christmas that's already been bought because people spend way too much on Christmas. But then they're going to be like, oh, it's your birthday too? Forget it. Let me take some of your Christmas gifts and switch them over to birthday gifts real quick.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's just how the cookie crumbled, as you will.
Yeah, I can tell my, hold on. I can tell my son is kind of feeling left out. Left out, you know, because it's everybody's birthday but his. And so, you know, everybody's getting special treatment, and at least all the girls. And, you know, we're going here, going there for them, and doing all these things for the birthday. And so he's trying to get in on it, you know, and everywhere we go, he's there, and he's like, okay, where's mine, you know, and I have to kind of keep on reminding him that it's not really your birthday, man. I'm sorry, but we're not going to get you a bunch of stuff right now. Just wait a little bit, because his is in October. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, I understand that. That's when my wife's birthday is October.
Yeah, so anyway, speaking of dates and such, we're going to plan on going to that camp out with the scouts on it's like the last weekend or whatever this month. I don't know. I don't remember the dates. But, yeah, it's the last few days of the month, I guess. And it's at Huntsville State Park, in case you didn't know. So we've been there before. We're familiar with that. We camped there before. And we're looking forward to going back. So that'll be really cool. And hopefully the weather will be pretty cooperable as well.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler, because I know last time we did one that was towards the beginning of the year. It was like 100 degrees when we went camping.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, yeah, that's no fun. Or if it rains a lot when you're camping, it's really no fun. It's hard to enjoy it, you know. Unless you got like a big camper or something, but then you're not really even camping. But you know, when you're tent camping, It's you're kind of dependent on that weather to cooperate a little bit in order for you to enjoy it. But yeah, one time we were camping with scouts and we woke up wet. It rained and our tent leaked, and there were some puddles on the ground, and I was in one of them, and Josiah didn't even know it. You know, didn't even know it rained, so it was all good for him. But I woke up all wet and uncomfortable. I didn't even sleep really.
Yeah, that's why I like our tent. We got a pretty big tent, and it's like almost teepee style, and it keeps all weather pretty good.
Oh, okay. Well, then you got to go so that we can take advantage of your big circus tent, waterproof circus tent, and sleep in there with you.
$15.99 per occupant.
Well, you know, these things aren't really waterproof, I think, when you get them. A lot of them, you know, these nylon tents, and that's what I have. And I think because you can see that they put waterproofing on the seams, but, you know, if you can see that, you don't see anywhere else, and then it leaks, well, I guess that it's not waterproof. So I guess that's up to you, and that's how they keep them so not so expensive, right? But yeah, so now I got some spray. Actually, while I was camping and I got wet, this dude came over later and he's like, "Here, man, you need this," and he gave me a big can of the waterproofing spray, and I still got it. So I'm gonna waterproof the snot out of that thing and then see how that goes.
I wonder if it's just your tent, because mine's that nylon-y plastic material stuff, and mine holds out water pretty good. And the last camp out we went on, it was like 20 degrees outside, so I went and got a heater, and I warmed up the inside to almost 70 degrees, maybe more.
Yeah, you know what actually happened with mine? KJ5JNJ for ID. We had it about we had it at least a year or so before I went out camping that time when it leaked. And during that year, we had put it up a few times in our backyard for the kids to sleep out there, pretend camping. And it did hold out the rain during that time. I remember it did rain on it a few times while it was in the backyard, and we never got water inside of it then. So that waterproofing must have just been, you know, a real thin film that wore off in the sun and the rain as we had it set up them few times. And then when I took it out camping, you know, I should have waterproofed it again, and I didn't. So that's what happened there.
Yeah, I understand that. That could be just the case with mine, but like I said, mine holds water out pretty good, because one of the days we went, I think either sprinkled or had a super ton of condensation, so like the entire outside of the tent was soaked, but the entire inside was totally dry. So it was super nice. It's a really big tent. I think the picture says that it can hold like 8 or 9 people or something like that.
Welcome to the WA5AIR repeater located in Conroe, Texas. For more information, go to southcoastreflector.com.
That reminds me of when we had that tent set up. You know, we had just gotten it, and the kids were all excited. And it's a pretty big tent, and we set it up, and you know, the kids being small, of course, everything is even bigger to them, right? So they went in here, and they were so impressed with how big that tent was. And I remember my kids were talking to my mom on the phone and telling her about it, and my son was like, "Yeah, you can fit like about 30 people could fit in there if they're standing up real close together. I counted. He said I counted and I made sure, you know, that I knew how many. But yeah, about 37 people.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. What's also nice about mine is, like I said, it's TV style, so I can fully stand upright in the tent.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool deal, man. Ours is, I guess you call it cabin style, but you can stand. I can stand up in it too. In the center. I guess if you get close to the sides, the roof starts to hit my head a little bit. But yeah, it's a pretty cool tent, but it's, you know, it's just cheap nylon. It's like nothing. I mean, I remember when I was young, my parents had like a Hillary canvas tent, and that thing was heavy duty, man. But you know what took it away? It wasn't invincible. A tornado got it.
Yeah, I guess more people like him than me.
KJ5AJ, yeah, copy that. So yeah, the only annoying part about mine is it's shaped like a,
Sometimes it gets pretty lonely out here in the shack.
like an octagon, I guess. So each corner has its own stake, so I have to stake it like 16 times. But it's really easy. I put the pole in the center, and then I just pull the strings, and that's all I got to do. So I'm not having to do any like some of the tents where you like lace the pole through it, or you know, you have to stand up a lot of the inside. All I got to do is set up the doorway, put just 2 poles, and then I'll put a pole in the center, and then stake the thing to the ground, and it's good to go.
Cold or something, because my Monday, I don't want to miss my Monday engagement.
Yeah, very cool. Sounds like a nice one, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out camping, so hopefully you guys go too, and we'll have some real fun. But I got to get going. I got to, round up the kids again, and go back to get the wife. So I'll talk to you later. KJ5JNJ, good talking to you, man.
They won't know. How are they going to know?
Well, I know this.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'll be at the house in like 2 minutes anyway. So 73, catch you later. KJ5AJ channel, mobile for a little bit longer.
I don't know. Well, gosh, I don't know. What are you going to do about Monday? Are you just going to go show up or what?
I'm going to go show up. I mean, what else can I do? I mean, I can't get these people to answer my damn email. I mean, you know, I got an email saying I had a job starting September 8th. Go take a drug test. You know, we're going to do the background. I, of course, told them what you know, and they're like, it's not a problem. And I went and took the drug test, and I haven't heard, and that was like 3 weeks ago, and I haven't heard jack.
Well, I think probably the most positive thing to do is what you're going to do, and that's go down there, show up for work, and then, say, well, you guys told me I had a job, and, at least worst case scenario, they send you away. But it could be they get to feeling guilty and give you a job or give you some kind of compensation for your trouble.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Well, we can always hope.
Yeah, well, I just don't know. I mean, like I said, I sent an email this morning. I haven't heard anything back, and so, I'm just clueless as to what to do. So I guess the only thing there is to do is to show up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and if they tell me that I'm full of you-know-what and to get out, then I will.
Yeah, well, it's a sad situation. You have to do that, but I think that I really believe you're on the right track.
Well, this is it. If this doesn't go through, I'm not going to look anymore. I'm just going to contact Social Security and take my Social Security.
Well, I've been trying to talk to a couple of fellas, and I spent most of the morning watching videos, and anyway, I don't guess when's the last time we talked anyway?
I don't remember.
Did I tell you about the G2800?
No.
Okay, so I found a guy on, I think it was QTH. He has a G2800 that he can't get fixed. He wants somebody to work on it. And so I've got a deal going with him, and he's supposed to, let's see, tomorrow I think he's supposed to ship me the 2800, and I'm going to test it to see what's wrong with it. And if after testing it I feel like that there's a chance to repair it, I'm going to open it up and see if I can have my way with it.
Really? Gonna have your way with it?
Well, actually, I was hoping that, of course, if you get a job, that's a whole different story. But if that doesn't go through, and you were interested in doing this kind of work on the side, I think there's a lot of opportunity. But anyway, I thought maybe you might want to come up and watch me open it up. You might learn something.
Well, if I have nothing else better to do, i.e. a job, I'll be there.
Okay. I also sent you a letter about Bob. I guess you saw what I forwarded to you last night.
Yeah, but who the hell is he?
He's the guy that rebuilt your rotator.
Oh, okay. He had a net?
Yeah, I thought you knew. He runs the SWAT net on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on, 144-250. And he's been complaining the last few weeks about noise, but I think it's not only noise on the band, but maybe noise in his ears.
Noise in his ears?
Yeah, I think they call that tinnitus or something.
Yeah, I've got the same stuff. I mean, it drives me sometimes, which is why I always have something on to try to kill that noise. It sounds like static all the time.
Well, did you go to the doctor and have him flush your ears out?
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't have it because I can't hear very much anymore, and I don't think the ophthalmologist can help me.
I don't know. I've seen the advertisements on TV about ringing in the ears and stuff like that. I've never done anything. Sometimes it's more noticeable than other times. I pretty much have learned just to ignore it, but I find it better to have something going on so that it, whether it's me, going to sleep listening to the all-news station I listen to on the internet or whatever. I just, or even just running the fan in my bedroom. It helps wipe out that noise.
Yeah, well, fortunately, I don't have that to deal with, and I don't have any problem going to sleep. Most of the time, I have problems staying awake, but going to sleep is not one of them. Although there have been nights whenever I've got up to go to the toilet and I can't seem to go back to sleep because my mind's running 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know. You're always thinking about some project or the project you're working on, what could make it better, and then somebody's got a problem, and, is it you or is it their rotor? I understand. I get it. I would be the same way.
So, have you had any experience on working on mechanical stuff?
Oh, many years ago, like 30 years ago. I worked for a company that built aircraft gauges for Cessna aircraft.
Oh, okay. Well, this ought to be an interesting project. you know, it's an opportunity to learn something. Of course, I've got multiple incentives to test it, check it, and hook it up to the DTC and see what its response is. And you know, if I can open it up and find out if it's potentiometer related, then you know, I've got one of these Hall effect rotary sensors that I would like to try in it. Anyway, I didn't know if I told you about it, but he also has purchased an
WA5A KI5 UTZ WA5A.
Okay, I'm holding on to my chair. N5 FPD.
Yes, sir.
Wayne, hold
I'm
on.
here.
Telephone call.
Roger, roger.
You're on your node? Yes, sir. I am. And I moved it up so it's like almost under the TV so I can see the light. I want to see what's happening on it. Well, you sound good. Sound like Dennis. Yeah, well, good. I appreciate all the effort, that's for sure, and I won't forget it. Like I just texted you, so anyway, yeah, I can hear myself on the RF radio in the office. It sounds good. The audio level's just perfect. Yeah, I set the audio up on that particular one, because your voice is always kind of low, so anyway, I set it up, and your audio sounds real good. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm the quiet gentleman. Now you can tell Don I got a nerve, Don. You ain't got nothing on me. Yeah. Well, that's done. Yeah, I'd be interested in doing mobile things. Now my cell phone is pretty old, so I don't know how it would work with all that metal. All you gotta do is always make sure the hotspot on your phone is turned on before you plug the node in. And then, and the radio's turned on. And once you hear it give an IP address, then you know it's connected up. And then you're ready to go then, mobile line. Well, okay, yeah. I got that radio ditty or radii oddity, depend on what part of the country you're from in there. The little thing. And I got that 2x4 magnet antenna on top. But anyways, yeah, we'll see how this works. And again, I appreciate it. I'm going to attach the speaker mic to it so I can get the radiation away from my head. Yeah, it'll be alright. Okie dokie. Well, safe travels. I'm going to go do a few things outside I didn't finish and wait for the sun to go down, and then it's news time. So, and that'd be the end of my day.
All right, sorry, Wayne, that was a temp service calling me.
Okay, so is everything good?
Well, you know...
Don't get too hot outside. I'm showing 100 degrees outside sitting here in the truck. We'll catch you later on, Dennis.
Is that the one that...
WI5.
Turn you on to that, right? You did it.
UTZ from WA5 hours.
Before she called me up, I don't remember applying at this temp service, but she called me up and said, I'm with, so-and-so temp service, and we got this forklift position, and, she's going on and on and on, and she asked that question, and I answered that. She's going to have to give somebody, but I she said, do you have any limitations that keeps you from being able to lift 60 pounds? And I
a little bit of packet loss. Try it again, then.
But you said the forklift position. Isn't the forklift's job to do the lifting and not the operator? And
you got it now?
This is really a bigger position.
My thermometer says 99 outside.
But we have to say forklift because about 20% of the time you're on the forklift.
Oh, I can believe it. That packet loss might have been on my end.
Did you apply?
For some reason, I'm not checking my antenna.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting noise on the repeater, and I shouldn't be. Let me
Unless I hear something.
see if I still get that noise. I'll switch repeater.
Good idea. I think that's a great idea. Anyway,
Alright, here's on 225. Let me check it out.
I think it has something to do with getting your hands dirty.
Well, you were talking about learning how to repair and I
which one was you on?
To do that. Did I tell you that?
I was on 9-2, 2-meter machine.
From main trading company over in Paris?
No. He's I'm on his blacklist, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, well, you sound good. There's no noise in the background, so. Anyway, I was going to say, just with the HP in the living room, I can hit 225 and 050.
I have an antenna analyzer that took a little...
Roger. Yeah, well, you're not really that far from them. Let me think. Yeah, both of them, let me think. Through the woods. Not that far. You're fairly close. I might have been, something was getting noisy on my end. It might have been somebody else with a radio or something hearing one of these other vehicles going by me or something. Alright, now you take care of it. We'll catch you later on. W85 a hour. Bye-bye.
That'd be my suggestion, is to buy a rig expert. I've got two of them. I sold one.
Take care. This is KI5
UTC.
Clear.
2 meters, but they're not. Well, the last time I looked, by the time, if he wants $150 to send it in, and that's not a guaranteed fix, I think you'd be better off spending the money on a new one.
Well, like I said, I told the guy that I don't have it in my possession. It's at a friend of mine's house, and it would take me, some time to go get it and send it to him. But like I said, he apparently wants $150 just to look at the thing, and then the parts are gonna cost extra. Which I could imagine, that tuner is probably, what do you think, $25 to $50?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue. I'm not familiar with the part, but to me, it's a hard sale. And I understand the $150. That's at the cost of things today, that's probably not a bad deal. I mean, if you take your car down to get it worked on, you're going to charge you that much an hour, if not more. So it's a reasonable price, but it's just a hard sell to try to fix an instrument that only has a couple of $100 value to try to fix it, and you have to pay $150 plus parts.
Yeah, and I don't know. He says he has parts. I don't know, but I was looking at the new rig experts. They're the ones that you can, I guess, it comes with a way that you can add more frequency to it. Have you seen those?
No, but what frequencies are you interested in? HF?
Well, all of them are HF, and I think the 259B I had actually would do 2 meters as well. But I think that the basic rig expert, the new one that's come out, they call it a match, and I think that's what they call it. And I think it'll do up to like 60 meg, and then there's another upgrade that'll take it up to 220, and then there's another upgrade that you can pay for, and it'll take it all the way up to the top of the amateur bands or bottom or whatever. Anyway, apparently these things are upgradable, and you just download some program that you pay for.
Yeah, well, the one I've got, I just looked at it. It's a 230. It's a Rig Expert 230. I can tell you what I think about it, because I bought a Rig Expert, well, they used to call it a Zero, and I bought one of those to start with, and then I analyzed it, and I kind of dissected the AA600, which is that was their 600, goes up to, I guess, 600 megahertz. That's why they call it that. And I've had the what was it? The one right below the 230 is what I sold a friend of mine, and then I bought the 230. And basically, the design of all of them are the same. It's just the software function that's different. So I would think that their marketing people decided that might be an easier way to make money than to sell physical parts every time, because they're from what I can see, the technology is there. When you get one, you really, it's limited by what the model number is, not by the components internally.
Well, this is a new deal. It's different than the ones they've been selling. The ones they sold, they worked on whatever, like yours does, up to 230 or whatever, and you couldn't do anything about it. But this one is an upgradable one, and it's something to do with the programming. Of course, I don't know whether somebody's going to be able to get in there and figure out how to hijack the thing and make it get everything they can receive or not. But you buy the basic unit, and then each of the upgrades, there's 2 upgrades, and they cost a certain amount of money. And I don't know if you buy the most expensive upgrade, if it includes the one before, or if you have to buy them individually. I don't know.
Well, I don't either. There's also they have those, I've got one of those too. I'm trying to think what it is. It's got a Smith chart, and it's got all of that on it. Oh, what the heck? They were selling them like for $100 at one time.
I know Comet makes one.
No, this was, it'll come to me in a little bit. I actually bought one of them, and then there was a guy over at Cowtown Hamfest that was doing some, gosh, my mind is going crazy. It's going blank. Of course, it stays that way most of the time, but he was doing the case building for them. And I had him to build me a case for mine. I'll think of it in a minute. It's just a little analyzer, and they were like $100. I think now they're about $150 or so.
Well, I'm a little shocked that this guy that used to work for MFJ, who now doesn't have a job because MFJ went out of business, is charging as much as he is. I mean, I would expect MFJ itself to charge those kind of rates, but not somebody that's now working out of his house on the side, so to speak.
Well, the difference is volume. At MFJ, while they were in operation, they had enough volume that they didn't have to make all their money off of one particular item. They had many items, different people, and but whenever you have an operation in your house, you've got overhead that is not distributed amongst a bunch of products, and so you've got to take care of all of your overhead with what limited equipment that you have, and well, it boils down to expertise as well. So, yeah, he's probably not making a whole heck of a lot of money doing it out of his garage.
Well, I was wondering, with the downfall of MFJ, if there's some of the things that they used to manufacture that you could manufacture, including an antenna analyzer.
Well, that's what the MCI 102 was all about, was about building something that was better than two of their other products. They've actually, the MCI 102 takes the place of two different products that they had. And it offers a couple of other...
Good afternoon. The time is 4 p.m.
So that's where we're going.
Weather,
with that
conditions,
product.
sunny, temperature, 90 degrees.
I think between the DTC 100 and the MCI 102, I've got all that I really want to do unless somebody else comes on board. And the problem with that is that you've got to have enough volume to justify that. And, I've been there and done that in my life, and I'm just really not interested.
Yeah, okay, I don't know. I just know that with MFJ gone, it's left a real void in the market. They made so many different items, and so surely somebody's going to come along and say, well, I really like this particular product they made. They don't make it anymore. I think I can make one better than they did.
Okay, this product is a nano VNA. I found one on Amazon for $120. And I would be hard-pressed to buy a rig expert when they had those for $120.
Are they any good?
Well, I could use mine and it worked just fine. And that's, I think I paid right at $100. And this one is, I was going to see what the limitations were, frequency limitations here. Let me look real quick. I think it's got a 4-inch touch screen, and it's of course got the internal battery. It's got an N-type connector, and it has a lot of features.
This is the WA5AIR repeater located in Conroe, Texas, with a PL of 103.5.
1.5, 3 gigahertz. So it's well.
Kilo India 5 Zulu Papa India listening.
And I think if I were going to, rather than to repair it, I'd do something like that. That's just my take on it. And I guess the reason why I bought the Rig Expert was Wayne Morris AC5V had a couple of them, and they worked really, really well. The display, the one that I had, the Nano VNA that I had, the display wasn't very good. You couldn't see it outside. The Rig Expert is a better display. It's in color. It's got the band pass display on it, so whenever you look at VSWR, like on a particular band, I say 20 meters, it's got the span of 20 meters, and you can do all your finagling with it. But the part I like about it, and the VNA, the Nano VNA does the same thing. It has a USB interface, so you can store the trace, the spectral plot that you're going to try to do measurements on a computer, make your changes on your antenna, and then compare. That's one of the strongest features about, in my opinion, about those devices. And I would much rather see you get a VNA, the Nano VNA, than to try to pay $150 to get one fixed.
So that thing you're telling me about, how much can it read up to? Because my old MFJ would go to 2 meters, but it wouldn't do 220 or 440.
Well, this one says it'll do up to 1.5 gigahertz, which is, way above the 70 centimeter. That's up. I guess what is the upper frequency? Isn't the upper frequency of your 9700 only like a little over 1 gigahertz?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so it should read that. But I personally, that's why I got the 230. I don't pay any attention to the 440 and all that kind of stuff. It's if I can have a VSWR device that'll read what the VSWR is, I don't really need an analyzer for that. The analyzer, the reason I would use the analyzer is so that I could use it on HF and do the plots like I'm saying, store them on. But normally what you do with like 70 centimeter, and I'm assuming the band up there at 1 gigahertz is, you're just making sure that you've got the SWR low, and you're not trying to analyze what the band pass is of that antenna necessarily. At least that's not what I would use it for. Not, some of the experts out there probably have a different feel for it, but you gotta realize where is your primary area of interest. I think I heard somebody else in there, but it was very, very weak. This is N5 FPD. Go ahead. Well, I thought I heard somebody, but now I don't hear anybody. Have you copied anybody, Gary?
I hear somebody, but he sounds off frequency.
This guy I heard was on frequency, but it just can't pull him in. Anyway, the Nano VNA is a good deal for the money, and I think if you got one and once you learned how to use it, you'd be really, really happy with it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the basic Rig Expert, the old style, and it only goes from 60 kilohertz to 35 meg, so that gets you HF and nothing else.
Yeah, and I think that must have been the one that I had to begin with. I think that was called an AA50 or something like that, and then. So I sold that, and that's why I bought the 230, was because I wanted to check on 2 meters. But I I very rarely, even though I've got an antenna and a station set up to do 70 centimeters, I don't remember when the last time I've used 70 centimeters.
Yeah, that was the AA35.
Yeah, there you go. That was it.
But they got this new thing called a match, and you get the basic unit for $395, and then you upgrade it, you know, to higher frequencies.
Yeah, I get it. I understand the marketing plan. I still think the Nano VNA is a better deal, and it's, you know, I guess the worst part about the Nano VNA is, you know, how readable is it in sunlight. But none of them are going to be perfect. Even the 230 is not perfect in the sunlight, but it's adequate, and I like the form factor, and I like how it operates. But the Nano VNA, really, that's the best bang for the buck.
Well, on their old ones, you got the AA35 zoom, which is 0.06 to 35 meg. Then you got the A55, which is 0.06 to 55 meg. But you got to go all the way up to the AA650, which will get you up to 650 meg, which would be, you know, 2 meters and 440, and it's $700.
Mike, SWSCQ 613, Mike, copy of it.
Oh, I heard somebody that time, a little bit stronger. November 5, Fox Papa Delta. What's the call?
Riders, Kilo Juliet 5, Hotel Uniform. You able to copy me?
Hotel Uniform. Yeah, it's a little difficult to copy. Your signal's pretty good, but there's a lot of noise on the band. But I got the Hotel Uniform. What's the first part?
Kilo Juliet 5.
Okay, Kilo Juliet 5, Hotel Uniform. This is November 5, Fox Papa Delta. Name is Wayne, and we're over here in Peaster, Texas, just north of Weatherford.
I'm up here in Arkansas. I was listening to your conversation on the Nano VNA and M&J and some others, and I was going to, the Nano VNA is the only thing I use, from 1 meg all the way to 1 gig. And we adjust all the 2 meters, 70 centimeters, all the HS. We use it on CBs. It reads really well out in the sunlight. Plus, it's got a battery. I don't have to plug anything into it. And it gets a Smith chart on it. And it's just all around been the best investment I've made. I've got 2 antenna analyzers, about $600 a piece, that don't even come close.
Yeah, well, that's what I was telling Gary, is that, you know, if you can buy a Nano VNA for $120, that's the best bang for the dollar. Now, the one that I had was one of the early ones, and I think it was, I don't know what the size of display, but it was like maybe 2.5 inch, maybe it might have been a 3-inch display, but certainly wasn't any bigger, and it was difficult to read. But I got used to it, and I could use it. But the Rig Expert was, to me, was better, but I don't think it's that kind of better. I wouldn't pay that kind of money for it as long as the Nano VNA was out there, especially the one that has the bigger, better display.
Mine has been fantastic. We've used it all over the place. Some friends of mine, they all have one, and one of the better features for it, we can measure the length of coax with it. We can find a break in the coax with it. I mean, it does it all. It's the best thing to come along since Grandma's pie.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the Zoom has a TDR in it as well, but I don't really like the way the Zoom TDR works. I don't know that I've ever tried the Nano VNA because I guess I don't use it in that manner. But I have used the Zoom for measuring short cables to see what the length was, and that, you know, they're pretty nice. But again, when you're talking about that kind of difference in money, and especially if you're on a shoestring budget, I think I would take a very serious look at the nano VNA. I think that's a better deal. And, okay, so I'm trying to look up, what's the name over there in Arkansas?
Mike India Kilo Echo in Pine Bluff, south of Little Rock.
Oh, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. You know, I know about where you are. Many years ago, whenever I was first licensed, that was back in the mid-'60s, there was a guy in Pine Bluff I used to talk to all the time. Unfortunately, he's probably dead by now.
Well, it's a small world. I don't meet too many live people from Pine Bluff.
Well, I tell you what, it's probably better to meet the ones that are alive than dead, but the other side of that coin is the ones that are 6 foot under won't hurt you.
No. I've lived here, I guess about 40 years. I moved here, I got out of the Air Force, and then I joined the Army, and still live here, but nonetheless, there's two things you got to have here, bullets and guns to put them in.
Yeah, that sounds like that goes together pretty good. So, Gary, are you copying Mike over there in Pine Bluff?
Yeah, I got a copy on him.
Okay, well, I didn't mean to hug up the channel. I'll let y'all go back and talk to him, but I'll just real impressed with that nano VNA, and I can put it in my shirt pocket and go do what I got to do. But I'll let y'all get back in and enjoy meeting both of you. Thank you for answering back.
All right, well, we're not doing anything special here, Mike. No needs for runoff. We're just shooting the bull like we always do.
All right. Well, I'll be around listening, but I'll let y'all come back and discuss this deal later. Sounds like you've got a lot of options. But anyway, thanks again. Glad to meet both of you. Talk to you again.
All right, well, you hold the fort down over there in Pine Bluff.
We will.
So, Wayne, I Googled this thing. I don't know who makes it. Amazon showing different versions. There's a Nano VNA-H, a Nano VNA-H4. You know, different prices. I don't know one from the other, but they're cheap.
Yeah, they're cheap, and they're all pretty much, I think, pretty much the same. That, you know, got different features on it. But the one I was looking at was, I just Googled it real quick. It's on Amazon. It's the what they call an SAA2N. It's got the 4-inch display, and I think that's pretty good. A 4-inch display may be just about the right size. You know, it's not too big and not too little.
Well, I haven't seen the one you're talking about. There's one for $125. Well, it says upgraded Nano VNA-FV2. I don't know.
Well, you can ask Mike about it. He's got experience. He's got more than one. You can ask your buddy, the engineer, what's his name, Chuck, about it. But anyway, before you pull the trigger on it, I certainly would look at the Nano VNA before I spent the kind of money on a repair, for sure, because it's going to be better. And the second thing, if you're considering a difference between Nano VNA versus the Rig Expert, the dollar difference might be a deterrent.
Well, who makes this thing?
I don't know. Maybe the company's name is Nano. I don't know any more about it than it's been around for a while, and it's pretty well known to be a very accurate and a very good device, and it's not that expensive. But you know, Gary, I bought a handheld, I think it's 50 megahertz, may have been 100 megahertz, dual trace oscilloscope with a digital DVM and a signal generator, all in one package for $95. So, you know, some of these other companies that's charging an arm and a leg, they're not going to be around very long.
Yeah, well, I don't know which one to buy.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, listen, Gary, the one that I've got that sounds like you have is the Nano VNA-H, as in hotel. And he was asking before what the range was, and it's 50 kilohertz to 300 megahertz, and then 300 megahertz to 900 megahertz, and then 0.9 gigahertz up to 1.5 gigahertz.
That's the one. That's the Nano H is in hotel.
Yeah, Nano VNA-H hotel.
Well, this. How much did that cost?
I think I paid right at 118 plus shipping.
Okay. Well, see this one that's on Amazon. They got it now for $119. Well, $120. And it says that the vector network analyzer up to 3 gigahertz, and so you know, what can I say? That's certainly far above anything that Gary's going to use, or that I would even be interested in.
Yeah, they made an upgrade. I could actually download the upgrade on my laptop and connect it up to the VNA and upgrade it to get up to 3 gigs. So I'm like you. I don't do anything in the gigs at all, unless, you know, I did use it one time, and that was just to check the home internet, get it fixed, but I don't do anything up there.
Well, anyway, so there you go, Gary. You got options, and all of the options sounds better than paying $150. I don't see how that guy at MFJ is going to. He's not going to make a living very long doing that. He, you know, even if he's working out of his house, he's, you know, he's not hardly doing any more than buying groceries.
Hold on, Wayne. I got another phone call.
All right. Well, get after them, and good luck. I've got my fingers crossed that somebody, that maybe it's Michael Anthony. You know, he used to have a TV show. If he called you up, you got $1 million. Well, what's going on in Pine Bluff, Mike?
Nothing. It's dying. I mean, we got a casino down here now, and they've just about finished the hotel on it, so they're going to run all the other hotels out of business, and I guess they put sidewalks downtown like anybody's going to go down there and walk on them.
Wow. Well, that's pretty good if they got sidewalks. So, did the tax dollars go up to put those sidewalks in?
Well, I guess for the city they did. The county, they messed with it. Now they're out of the country, you're just out of town, but they pretty much lost their tax base. All the businesses that closed up moved out, went to Little Rock. A lot of the people moved out, went to Little Rock. And, I guess per capita, comparing us to Chicago, that'd be probably right on point right there.
Well, so you have a lot of people shooting each other there in Pine Bluff?
At least one a week, and usually 2 to 3 on the weekends. They can shoot, apparently. They're not killing too many of them, but they're shooting them.
Well, is that an accident? Somebody going squirrel hunting and shooting a neighbor, or what?
Yeah, right. No. All these people doing the shooting and getting murdered, they ain't ever been in the woods a day in their life. You couldn't get them in the woods.
Well, I guess that's one place you could go to get away from them then.
If it was in the woods, there'd be dead people everywhere, and people go to the woods and shoot.
What we used to do, you know, I grew up in southern Illinois, and my dad, he used to take me squirrel hunting all the time. So I'm very, very familiar with going squirrel hunting.
Yeah, I guess You keep them out of the streets. And since my dad flew a lot in the Air Force, we were with my grandpa a lot. And, he was hard. He was firm. He was hard. But you see, we had it every day after school. It seemed like on the weekends we fished. And, whatever you killed, you ate it.
Yeah, I've heard people say, "Oh my God, that's kin to a rat. I don't think I'd eat that." Well, they just haven't been hungry enough.
Until my first and second deployment in Iraq, and I found out I lied because there's about 120 over there during the day, and there ain't no cold water fountains in Iraq.
Well, I didn't ever go to Iraq, but I went to Vietnam. That's pretty close, isn't it? I mean, it's hot in Vietnam, and it's hot in Iraq, and they both have sand.
He flew there, and I don't know, two or three tours, because we were in Okinawa when he was flying in Vietnam. And now Vietnam is a lot worse than Iraq. You could see your opponent in Iraq.
Whenever I was in Vietnam, we had there on a compound, we had a barber, a Vietnamese barber, and he was the barber during the day, and then at night he was working for Viet Cong. And I remember they shot him one day outside the compound when he was shooting at the soldiers. So I always wondered about that because he had that razor where he shaved the GIs, and I was thinking to myself, man, I'm telling you, he could probably kill more GIs that way than outside the compound with a rifle.
Yeah, they didn't have the same problems there that we had in Iraq. I mean, you could question people that had after wrong answers got them thrown out of it. But in Iraq, based on when we first got there, they said if somebody had a weapon, you could engage them. And 2-3 months later, that changed. They said, well, if they had a weapon, they had to aim it at you before you could engage. And they waited another 2 months, and they said, well, if they have a weapon, they have to aim it and fire it before you can engage. And that's when things got completely crazy.
Well, I tell you, whenever I was in Vietnam, they wouldn't let us have any bullets. So it didn't do too much good, trying to beat on them with a rifle. Most of the time, the rifles were locked up, and one time we had to go guard an ammunition dump during a rocket attack, and I never did figure that one out.
That's crazy. The whole thing over there was crazy because we didn't. They kept reporting on the news, and we kept seeing it when they said, we had 30,000 man overwhelming force and blah, blah, blah. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. The government was paying all of the sheiks over there, the tribal leaders, thousands of dollars a month not to shoot at us. We didn't overwhelm anybody. They chose a ransom money figure, and that's what they paid. There was nothing not to shoot.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of a strange situation, but I guess it's just one of those that I've been there and done that too. So that's the nature of the beast, as they say. But I don't know. I always thought, it's kind of like it's kind of like Israel and the people over at the Gaza Strip down there. They're feeling sorry for all these people. Well, what do you think war is all about?
Well, I don't feel sorry for them. A few years ago I used to. But when you got 1.5 million, 2 million people, and you've only got, 20,000 bad guys, and 2 million people are letting them run everything, then let them run it. Because 2 million people could overwhelm them anytime they wanted and take their place back.
Well, Well, you know, it's just, I think, what do they call that? They call those people sheep. They just follow along. They never think about the big picture.
No. And then they, cry and complain that the people over there are starving. Well, the same people that's holding them hostage are stealing all their food and then selling it to them. So that's just, if you get, it's like anything like you said a minute ago, about being hungry. Them people just ain't been hungry enough.
I guess so. Well, we'll never be able to figure out the world and solve their problems. So the only thing we can do is try to survive ourselves. And if it means we got to go out in the woods and shoot a squirrel, well, hey, I'm all game.
I guess I must have sinned early in life, and the good Lord wanted to get even with me, so He gave me 2 daughters. And one of them is a police officer, and the other one's a chief paramedic for an ambulance company. And so they're out there taking fire every day, one way or another. And I stay at home and worry myself to death about it.
Well, yeah, I admire people that will do those types of jobs. It's pretty tough. I'm sure it's tough on the parent too, being like that. Anyway, N5 FPD. Gary, are you back yet? He may have had to go down to Hall and do some real serious business.
He had a real phone call. Okay, well, I got to step outside here just a minute. Take care of a dog, and I'll let you get back there with Jerry and listen for him. But I'll be back around shortly.
Okay, Mike. We'll catch you here in a little bit. KJ5 HUU, N5 FPD.
FPD, K5WXY. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. Business first, pleasure later.
Another temp company, they want me to come in and interview tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock.
Wow. Well, things are starting to look up.
Nah, I've been down this road before.
Well, maybe this time you'll know the path a little bit better.
Well, I went ahead and got the dirty out, and you know what I'm talking about. And of course, I was told the standard answer, but somehow, even though they say one thing, they do another.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's good just to get it off your chest, but I don't know. I guess the other side of that is what they don't know won't hurt them.
Well, they all check, and he claims 7 years, and I'm like, yeah, I've heard that a lot, but I didn't want to waste his time or mine, so I went ahead and spilled the beans, and I still have an interview, so.
Well, let's see how it turns out. Tomorrow at what time now?
11 in the morning. I've got a men's breakfast at church from 6 to 7.
You're just I don't know, you're a lot busier than I am.
I don't think so. At least you have something to do. You've got a really nice shop there. The envy of any amateur operator.
Well, I got a project I need to work on. I guess it was yesterday. I felt rambunctious yesterday morning and went out in the shop, and I got a plastic enclosure for a test fixture for the MCI 102, and so I milled out all the cutouts and drilled the holes and yada yada yada. I got all that done. I need to mount the parts, and then I've got to get the PC board built, and I thought about doing that today, and then I said, I really don't feel like doing that, and I just don't want to do it today. And it's one of those deals where I don't know. I've got to the point where I like to take a little time for myself. This afternoon at about 6 o'clock. It depends on what the temperature does, but I still got some mowing to do. I need to go out there and finish up. I've got probably about an hour or two of mowing before I complete the entire area, and I want to get it done before the special deal on Monday. Hopefully I can go through with that and get that out of the way and start that mending process, and then I'm going to start looking seriously at going to Hamfest.
Which Hamfest?
Well, the first one I think is in Ardmore. Then I'm going to go to Belton, and there's another one somewhere somebody told me about. I don't remember where it is now, but anyway, there's 2 or 3 of them. Was it this weekend or was it last weekend? I don't know. The Mena, Arkansas. That was I think maybe that's this weekend.
Well, I'm assuming I'm going to go with you. By the way, there is a Nano VNA website. It's nanovna.com. But I only see one kind of Nano VNA listed, and when I look at Amazon, I see a whole bunch, so I don't know.
Okay, I don't either. So I'm sure you can work that out. Well, yeah, I don't, I know we got this weekend, depending upon the weather. No, wait a minute. Pete said on the 20th. I think it's the 20th, so that's still a week or two away. They're going to replace the rotator up on his tower. So there's that one that I'm going to have access to. He's already promised that I could tear into it, and then we got the one that's down in South Texas, the 2800 that's going to come in, and then we're going to go up to see Bob. I CC'd you on that email that I sent Bob So depending upon what your work schedule is, we got that to go do. But I'm just thinking that if you want to get involved in it, we're in a pretty good position to start doing that.
Well, I'd like to get involved in it. And of course, it's all going to depend on whether I get a job or not. But then again, I'm only trying to work for the next 6-8 months to get to my full retirement age, and then I can do what I want to. It's interesting, changing the subject back to that nano VNA. They have a link where it says buy a nano VNA, and it comes out and it shows Europe, Central and Eastern Europe, North America, USA. In USA it says R&L Electronics and Gigaparts. And then there's a note down here. It says, for platforms such as Amazon or Ally Express, please buy directly through the store provided by the link. Other advertising links on the platform may sell bad clones.
Yeah, well, there's probably clones out there, and they probably work just as good as the original. And I don't know that I would be afraid of it. I would investigate it, but I know that if you're going to buy it from Amazon or if they have it available at R&L, that's what I would suggest, because they don't charge tax outside of the state of Ohio.
Okay, well, I want to do something. I know that, because I've got these antennas here that I need to check their why am I getting a brain fart? The SWR, Jesus. Before I stick them up on the tower, I had them up there, and the SWRs were crazy, so I brought them down.
I tell you what I'll do. I will loan you my AA600. It's sitting over there. It's been sitting over there for the last year. I don't ever use it. Now, I'm not going to give it to you, but I'm going to loan it to you until I have a need for it, and then I'll call it back in.
Well, I assure you I won't take it up on the tower, because that's what happened to mine.
I don't care. Accidents are going to happen, so I'm not worried about that. I like my 230. I don't want to let go of the 230. That's what I use, I would say, fairly regularly. I don't remember when the last time. I probably use the AA600 to check the 510 I've got, but I don't use it often enough to make it a necessity to have here. But if you want to use it and do your antenna work and keep it, for some predefined period of time, I don't have a problem with it, because I'd rather somebody get use out of it than just sit over there.
Well, I've got this beam for 440 that I bought at that Hamfest, and I have no idea, what the SWRs on it are or anything, and I've got a 13-element 2-meter beam and a 10-element 2-meter beam that apparently the SWR is not right. I stuck it up on the tower and was getting all kinds of crazy readings, so, I need to have some way to check it out before I stick it up on the tower and then find out it's not right.
Well, take this AA600 next time you come up here. Remind me, because I'll forget about it. Just take it and keep it until you get finished with it, and then you give it back. But I'd rather for it to be down at your house and get use out of it than just be sitting up here collecting dirt and dust.
Well, if I can get a job, I probably need to get a better 220 radio, because on that 220 net, I hear everybody when we're on the repeaters, but when we go simplex, I don't hear a peep. And one of your friends, took me or listened on 220 for me, and he could hear me, but I couldn't hear him.
I don't have any friends, so I don't know who you're talking about. But regardless, I don't know why you need to get on 220. What's wrong with 2 meters? That's somewhere that you can talk to people. 440, it's okay if you're on a repeater, but other than that, it's not any good. but just my personal opinion. But anyway, yeah, you're welcome to use the 600. It'll work on all those frequencies, and it'll give you a feel for what it does and how it works. And then you know, in fact, if I can find that nano VNA, I'll even loan that one to you. I don't even remember what I did with it now, but it's around here somewhere.
You know, it's a shame to have so many toys and you can't remember what you did with it.
Man, that's not the half of it. I got so much stuff here, and I honest to God, Gary, there's times when it's just easier for me to order another one.
Well, I mean, you know, you rich folk like that, you know, I mean, I get it.
No, it's not about rich. You know, I'll look for it, and I can't find it, and it just disgusts the tar out of me. And it's, you know, maybe it's only a $5 part, and it's just, you know, I'm thinking to myself, well, why am I being so, you know, why am I tearing myself up to try to find a $5 part when I can go to Amazon and another one will be here tomorrow?
Well, I don't know about tomorrow, but I understand what you're saying. But if it's a $1,000 part,
air quality alert.
Oh well, I'll just buy another one.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I'm not, you know, I'm not a pauper, but I'm not infinitely wealthy either. I have to watch what I buy, just like you do.
Yeah, if I had your money, I'd throw mine away.
Oh, jeez. Well, you just don't understand.
Oh, I fully understand.
Well, your house is paid for, so, you know, I don't know why you're complaining.
Have you forgotten I'm trailer trash?
Well, at least it's paid for. And besides, I looked at it and it didn't look like trash to me. As a matter of fact, I don't know, but I could probably give you a job coming over here and cleaning up my mess.
Well, I don't know. As soon as I really do retire, I need to paint the outside of this thing. It's been 10 years.
Well, I had that done here. Let's see, that was, gosh, it's been probably 3 years, 4 years ago when I did this one. Let's see, we've been out here almost 18 years, 17, 18 years, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, there's no doubt you got a really, really nice place, and I really like that shop of yours.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's way too big a house. I would never do it again, but I had, I had help in that decision back a few years ago, and it is what it is. My shop, if it left up to me, Gary, what I would prefer is just to buy enough acreage out somewhere in the country, away from other people, and build a little, what do they call them, barn dominiums, and put my little garage shop out there, and put me a bunk bed and a shower and a toilet, and I'd be just tickled pink.
Yeah, a new guy I met named Bert. He's about, 10 miles south of me in Waxahachie. He's got a nice little barn dominium. They came out there and built the shell, and then he went in and built all the interior walls and did all the taping and the floating and the painting and putting down the wood floors and the whole 9 yards. And I'm not talented enough to do something like that, but he sure did.
Well, N5 SPD, just to be on the safe side, and there's a guy that's up in Springtown, and I used to go visit my friend up there. Of course, he's moved away now, but anyway, that's beside the point. There's a guy up there that built a metal building, and then he had rock brought in, and he rocked that outside of that metal building. And I mean, it is gorgeous. And then he built another, I don't know if it's a shop or a garage or what he built next to it. And he used the same type of material. And I mean, it blends in. It looks really, really nice. And but the frame and everything is all built like, a metal fab building. And man, I'm telling you, if he was talented and obviously had the money to do it. But every time I see that place, I'm thinking, I wished I had something that was more on that nature.
Yeah, I'm sure it looks nice. Of course, I think, when I'm looking to try to buy property and things like that, I see a lot of things like no manufactured homes and no barn dominiums and no this and no that.
Yeah, well, that's the Gestapo, and we have those here, and I try to ignore them the best I can. You have to somewhat abide by the rules, but fortunately, where our property is, it's a lot of this. What I've got going on out here is hidden. If somebody could see it, then I would be in deep kimchi, I think they call it.
Well, the whole point to me is moving out in the country is to get away from all of these HOAs and all these people that want to have cookie-cutter houses and have everything look the same and tell you what color it has to be and how many flowers you have to have in front of it and how many trees and all this kind of crap.
Yep. Well, our neighbor over here, he built this beautiful fence like you'd see in a gated area with all the brick pilings. You probably seen it whenever you drove down the driveway. And whenever he did that, I asked him. His name is Mike, and I said, Mike, are you building Fort Knox over there or what? And he didn't quite get it, but it's they come out here to in the woods, basically. They come out to a game reserve, which is what this used to be, and they build houses and they do things like you would do in a gated community in a ritzy neighborhood, and it just, to me, it looks a little out of place.
Yeah, changing the subject real quick, I forgot to ask you. I had somebody I know ask me if the controller that you built has a Raspberry Pi in it. Of course, I don't know a Raspberry Pi from a strawberry pie or an apple pie or a chocolate pie, but anyway.
Well, a Raspberry Pi has more seeds in it than chocolate pies.
Oh, okay.
It's actually got a Raspberry Pi, but it's not called a Raspberry Pi. It's called a Pico, P-I-C-O. It is not as, I guess, it doesn't have an OS in it like a Raspberry Pi does. It's not meant to run Linux, and it's not meant to do some of the things that a Raspberry Pi does, but it has a tremendous amount of power, more for controller-type applications.
Okay, well, I know no more than I knew before. He said they got if it got a Raspberry Pi in it, and then he said probably a PI or an Audirino, A-U-D-R-I-N-O, and then I just texted him and said Pico, and he says, that's a Pi, isn't it?
Yeah, the people call it a Pico Pi. It's made by the same company that makes a Raspberry Pi, but yeah, it's just more of a controller type application. Although it does have, like I said, some pretty powerful processing in it. But yeah, it's not the same. It doesn't have all the peripherals that go along with running displays and Ethernet.
N7T, Andy, Las Vegas.
You can't put them on there. But yeah, anyway. So, are you interested? I know your schedule, but are you interested in coming up and helping me with that 2800? I don't want you to feel obligated if you don't want to. I just thought it might be an opportunity.
Well, I'm very interested, but after 6 months and applying to 200 different places, all of a sudden now it seems like people want to interview me.
KK7DBI and Aka.
I don't know.
He was telling me about Tim coming up for car races. When's he going to do that? And is Tim's call sign W9AYK?
When you come to it, but it's I guess it's no evil in pondering.
Hey, Ken, good afternoon. Yeah, it is W9AYK. I don't know. The race is, I don't have a calendar in front of me because I'm driving, but I think the race is the 20th and 21st of September. Yeah, because I'm traveling to Colorado that week. So, yeah, so I'm going to take Highland Peak off the network late on Thursday, the 18th, I think it is. They're going to be using it Friday for coordination. Saturday they're doing prep and some testing, and then Sunday morning's the actual event. I would imagine he'll probably be up there earlier that week, but I'd send him an email just to verify.
Check and drug test. Okay, fine. I've done those. Now tell me, did it work out? Is it okay? Are you happy? Are you gonna?
Yeah, I think I talked to him last year when they had this race, or the last time they had that race where they run.
I know that's got to be frustrating.
Cross country cars. I'll try to get a hold of it.
Around like that, but a lot of times you got
excuse me, and
go
see him when he's here.
Going to provide the employment for you, and they're hiring some other group.
Yeah, I'm sure we love like that. It's a Lund to Heiko race. LUND to Heiko is the actual track. But yeah, I'm driving. I don't have his email handy, but I'm sure he's on QRZ. But yeah, him and I have been talking a little bit about coordination, how to have to configure the system to get it ready for him, which is pretty much what we've done the last several years. Nothing really new.
And I tried to contact the company to make an appointment. Nobody ever responded, so I just went up there.
All right. Well, thanks for the info. I'll be waiting here. He usually gets on the radio. Last year he got on the radio when he was here, and I'll probably get a hold of him.
To the foyer there. Wasn't her office, but they moved her.
Yeah, he listens over here when he's around, and he listens on D-Star also. But yeah, if not, like I said, just send him an email.
Chicago called me and talked to me on the telephone, so I stepped outside of their little waiting area or whatever, and talked to him, and he said, okay,
thanks for the info.
I'm going to recommend that they
KK7 BDI 73.
The waiting area, and I was called in for an interview, and then I left, and then a day or two later, I get this letter saying,
okay, have a good rest of your day. N7TND.
We'll take this drug test, and you got to have this background check done, and I went and did, that, and I got notification that from the people that did the background check on me, they sent me a copy of what they sent them, and I expected the company to say, okay, we're happy, we're going to go ahead and go through, and they haven't responded because the letter clearly states that the job offer is contingent upon the drug test and the background check, and so you would think that that would mean that they later would come back and say, okay, everything is fine, we'll see you Monday morning.
Well, yeah, that's the way it should work, but it doesn't work that way. First of all, you got people in multiple locations, and they don't always communicate well, and that's the way companies are. It's not like you're working from AA Logic or something.
Well, yeah, I understand. Like I said, apparently. They have this person in Chicago at the home office that does an initial telephone interview, and then if he likes what he hears, and of course he's got my resume and everything because it was, submitted and all that when I applied. So, then he tells the people in Wilmer, okay, I like this person interviewing.
N5 FPD.
K5 WXY.
Well, I know it's pretty heavy on your mind right now, but all you can do is go up there Monday and, see what they tell you. And if it's meant to be, it'll happen. If not, well, you go home and, bring Luna some milk.
I was at HEB today, and I looked at the milk because I thought about you. And I thought, sure as hell as I buy this milk, the little bitch will turn her nose up at it.
That's what cats do. They're supposed to do that.
And I I was amazed. I thought, well, I'll just get a little thing. Well, a little jug, like a pint size, is more expensive than a quart.
Yeah, we have this discussion between my wife and I all the time. You know, every 2 weeks we pour out a quart of milk. We pour it out because it's expired, and I've got this thing about milk that's expired. When I was little, I drank some milk one time that was soured, and I never will forget that. And I don't like milk to begin with, but I enjoy having a bowl of cereal with milk. I know it's hard to explain, but at any rate, when we buy I guess they're half gallons. We buy the half gallon of milk, and at least half of it gets pitched out because I can't eat that much cereal, and she doesn't drink the milk. But she said, well, we ought to buy something that's smaller. Well, just like you go buy a quart, it costs you as much, if not more, than a half gallon.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of the little pint-sized bottles and stuff like that. You know, used to come in little wax cartons when I was a kid, and you'd get that for a nickel. Well, I would, because you know, and you probably did too with your age. You'd get a little thing of milk at the lunch line for a nickel. Like I said, it was in a little plastic carton. You'd open up one end of it and drink out of it. But now they come in little plastic bottles, and those are more expensive than a whole quart.
You know, went over there at HEB last week, and we've been buying these little ice cream cups. There's this douche delecki or something like that, I think is how they say that. But anyway, they're just real small lunchbox type ice cream. And I looked over at those things, and I said, my God, that's $1.70. And see, that's the same thing. I could buy a whole quart of ice cream for that.
Yeah, and by the way, this other job that you
Good afternoon. The time is 5 p.m.
I've never heard of them.
Weather conditions, sunny, temperature 87 degrees.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. It's not through a temp service. I don't know. I've had experiences with temp service when we were hiring people, and it never really was all that good.
Well, you know, now that I've blown through my unemployment. When I get an email from Indeed about a job or something, if it's a temp service, I don't even apply. I only apply at the ones that are real companies because, you know, I've done told myself if this Monday thing doesn't go through and if this thing doesn't go through, then I'm done and I'm just going to apply for my Social Security 6 months early.
Well, I know you've been struggling with it for a while, and I hope something works out in your favor for a change.
Well, when you get fat, old, and ugly, nobody wants you.
Well, you've always been ugly, though, but, you know, the age does make a difference.
Yeah, well, and I wasn't always fat either. When I was a kid, I had to wear slim pants with a belt.
I could tell the last time I saw you that those days are well gone.
Yeah, you know, it took me to high school to break 100 pounds, and now I'm 125 over that.
I remember when I was up in Denison, I bought that two-way radio shop from my ex-wife's brother, and we were out there having some kind of a get-together because I just hired a couple of people, and we had a little party deal, and there was a scale out there, and I stepped on it, and it was 150 pounds, and I thought to myself, my, I sure put on a lot of weight. Well, let's see, that was about 35 years ago.
Well, you still haven't packed it on like me.
Well, it's getting thicker. It's getting a lot thicker, and I can tell it, and I don't like it, but golly gee, you know, here in a couple of months I'll be 77, so, you know, I guess it's okay.
I hope I can make it that long. Bob was out mowing his yard, you know, my next door neighbor Bob, you know. I really like him. I trust him. He's got a key to the house and everything. And he's out there riding his brand new John Deere, you know. And I come back from the store, and I rolled the window down of the truck. And as I was passing his place, I pointed towards my place, you know, like, keep going on that mower. Just keep on going across over to my side of the yard. And Bob pointed down to the ground like, nope, I'm going to stay right here.
How old is Bob?
I want to say he's 77 like you are, but he may be 78 or possibly 79. I can't remember, but he is one hell of a good neighbor.
Well, good neighbors are hard to come by, and when they get that old, you never know how long they're going to be around, so you got to be good to them.
Yeah, I know. His wife is much younger than he is. I think she's in her 50s. So anyway, but yeah, I know someday he won't be there anymore, and I'm not going to like that. But who knows? Hell, I might die before him.
Possibly. You never know. Not everybody's dealt the same hand.
Yeah, somebody's liable to kill me first. I mean, I see people all the time and wonder why somebody hadn't killed them already.
Well, yeah, I try not to worry about things like that, but sometimes I get pretty aggravated myself.
I guess someone wants to tune right up on top of our QSO.
They're not tuning up on a QSO. They're a couple of K hertz away.
Oh, well, it sure looked like it here. But yeah, as far as the Ham Fest go, I thought that I had a standing invitation.
Well, you do. We're going to go over to Pete's house. I don't know when that's going to be, but as soon as I can grab a hold of that I don't know if it's an 800 or 1,000, but whatever it is, it's the same. You know, I've been looking at videos on those, and they're all just about the same on the inside. Maybe the beefiness is different, but anyway, so got that to do. Ardmore's coming up, Belton, and there's another one somewhere that someone told me about that's in amongst all that, and but I want to start hitting them. You know, I told you that guy down there sending me the $2,800. He bought $2,800, a 2800 rotator. He bought an Arco, and when he found out about the DTC 100, he says, wow, he said, I wish I'd have known about it before I bought my second Arco.
Yeah, you told me 2800 was the rotor.
Yeah, that one's a 2800, and I'm very interested in that one. And I'm really, to be quite honest with you, I'm doing it as more of personal satisfaction. It's not. We hadn't even discussed money, and I don't really care anything about it. I just want to evaluate it with the DTC, because he said the Arco told him it was a bad sensor, but the Yaesu wouldn't even rotate it at all. So there's some, you know, I don't know if it's the motor or if it's the sensor, but that's part of what I'm going to explore.
Well, I'm surprised. I'm not a member of ARRL anymore, but my login still works.
So what does that have to do with the rotator?
I was going to look up the Hamfest.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming, but I know that there was, maybe Mac was the one that told me. I need to go back and look at my notes if I can dig through all of my scribbling.
No, I sent you a list, remember?
Well, maybe that's where I got it. I don't know. But anyway, to be quite honest with you, Gary, I've got that going on Monday, and I've just kind of blanked everything else out, and I'm trying to, you know, I guess you call it blinders. I'm not interested in doing anything else until I get that behind me.
Okay, so you can look these things up by sections or divisions. What do I need to do?
I don't know.
Well, are we in the southwestern or division?
I mean, that probably makes sense, but I don't know if they have anything that, you know, really, it's kind of hard to tell because you need to kind of pinpoint where the central point is and then draw a circle around that and figure it out, because really, with me, it has to do with mileage, you know, and basically the same thing with you.
K0QG.
If you go too far, you're going to have to spend the night, and Luna's not going to accept that.
Ain't that the truth? Well, we're not in southwestern. Because that was out in California.
I think we're called North Texas, but I don't know if is that a region or is that the area?
Well, they've got a state, they got an ARRL division, and an ARRL section.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to even give you a clue.
Well, if I look up Texas, it's not going to tell us the one in Oklahoma.
The best guy to ask about all that is KB5WB. He keeps track of all that stuff like a hawk, and maybe that's where I heard about it. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be on 2 meters tonight or not.
I don't know either.
Well, have you got another net tonight?
No, other than Tom's.
Okay. Well, that's just a round table tonight. But yeah. Anyway, it's about right now. It's the temperature's dropped from 99 to 98.5 outside. So the temperature's starting to come down. In about an hour, I'm going to put my I'll put my old shoes on. I gotta do some mowing and put my goggles on to protect my eyes. I got weed eating to do, mowing to do, and I don't know. I'm gonna try to get finished up before the round table starts.
Okay, so I've pulled up North Texas section. It's got Belton on 10-4. It's got Springtown on 10-25. And Bonham, Fannin County on 11-15.
1025 Springtown, that's the other one.
Okay.
Should have remembered it. I went there last year, well, that's interesting. Last year, the first time I showed the DTC 100 in its infancy was last year at Springtown.
Okay, Texoma on 10-11, because I had to go to Oklahoma to see that. There's one up in Enid, but according to the map, that's pretty far north. There's also one in Altus, which looks like it's just over looks like it might be north of Wichita Falls.
Yeah, Altus, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's 328 of 26.
Well, that's a long ways out there. I don't know if I'll be live then.
Well, Enid, which it's showing it to be damn near to the Kansas border, is 9:20:25, and Texoma is 10:11 of 25.
What is that? Is that the Ardmore one at 10:11?
Yeah, Ardmore's 10:11.
Okay, well that one is, I'm about 99% sure I'm going to that one. I haven't bought any tables in any of them either. So I need to next next week's going to be a busy week. Once I get through with that surgery, and I get where I'm got some free time, I'm going to start getting tables and that kind of stuff together and get a better handle on a schedule.
All right, we're apparently in West Gulf Division. It's showing the Enid one on 920, which is way up almost to Kansas. Belton at 10-4, Ardmore at 10-11, and then way down south, you don't want to go to this one, Elmendorf, that's in 10-12, and Sinton, which is even further south, is 10-18, and way over in El Paso on 10-25, and then you got the Parker County Hamfest and Emergency Preparedness Expo on 10-25.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna run down the hall. I'll be right back. N5 FPD.
And Bonham on 11-15.
Well, Springtown's pretty small. I don't know how big Bonham is. Bonham might be worthwhile because it's it's between Denison and Paris.
Yeah, well, a lot of these you're not going to want to go to because they're too far away. That Enid one is, according to the map, it's nearly up to the Kansas border. I guess that's what's immediately north of Oklahoma. You got Belton on the 10-4, Ardmore 10-11. That's like right in a row. Looks like it's like 2 Saturdays apart or something. And then you don't want to go down to Elmendorf. It's way down in South Texas, around San Antonio, I guess. And then Sinton's even further down, like around Corpus Christi. And then El Paso, we know where that is. And Springtown, you know where that is. And that's coming up on 10-25. Bonham's on 11-15, so that's, 10 days apart?
Yeah, I don't know. It really, it has to do with, are you going to be able to go? And the second thing is, what about electricity? Because I got into a situation, Bob, he wanted to go over to one somewhere over, I don't know, somewhere over in East Texas, and I found out about it. There was nothing indoors, so they didn't, just a bunch of tables set out outside.
Well, I was at that place, and as I recall, it was outdoors, but there was some places that had power.
Well, I don't know. Whenever you go outdoors, you got an LCD display that's trying to compete with Mother Nature, and sometimes that doesn't work out in your favor. That's another reason why, for our demonstration purposes, would be better if it were indoor.
Well, after going there, I wouldn't recommend you go there. It was very, very sparsely attended. Facilities were not good. I mean, to me, it was just a total waste of time.
Well, I'm afraid Springtown might be that way too, and I don't, Springtown. I mean, it's a nice gathering, but it's not very big. And Bonham, I'm not real sure about Bonham, but Bonham being close to Paris, you know, you're going to have a little bit of draw in that direction, and I know there's several hams in Sherman-Denison area, but I don't know. I don't know how big that was going to be, but Springtown's definitely a small one.
Yeah, but isn't Springtown the one that Top belongs to?
I think well, I don't know for sure. I just don't know for sure, but it would make sense that he would. You know, Walt, WB5BNK, he'll be there, and Gary, KI5UXF will be there. Those types of people. You know, most of your 2-meter type guys that we know will be there.
I don't know if this has any influence on you at all, but it's being held at the Cornerstone Community Church.
Well, I was there last year at the church, and I lived through that.
Well, I just meant size-wise. I can't imagine it being that big.
No, it wasn't that big. Our room was relatively small, but they had an outdoor activity, and there were several people out there tailgating, and then they had the indoor tables set up. It was a fairly well, Springtown's not that big, but you had electricity, you had restroom facilities, and it was okay. It was a pretty nice event.
Well, Ardmore seems to be better. Its location is the Ardmore Convention Center.
Yeah, I think Ardmore is going to be a better place to show. We probably have more luck trying to peddle our goods at Ardmore than we will Springtown. Springtown is kind of like, it's just a bunch of local guys. It's certainly not a Belton.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map. Of course, it's, I don't know how far north of the Red River it is, but it's not all that far.
Well, it's kind of like Irving. Out of all the ones that we went to, Irving was the worst one.
Yeah, it was in Betcha Bingo or something.
Well, it wasn't the building. It was just, no one had an interest in buying anything, and so it wasn't. And it was the only one that I've been to that we didn't sell a single thing, and so that was a little disheartening.
I'm pulling up Bonham. It's at the Bonham Trade Days Pavilion.
Yeah, well, Bonham's a pretty small town, but like I said, it'd be better if they put it on in Paris. But I guess they're trying to draw from, the Grayson County folks there. Maybe Colin and there's 3 or 4. There's Fannin and Colin and Grayson up there that they're probably trying to pull from.
Well, it is being hosted by the Fannin County ARC.
Well, that's not saying a whole lot. If you've been to Fannin County, you've got a better feel for that.
Well, yeah, I understand. I mean, Belton's going to be a big one for us, and I think Ardmore might be pretty decent.
Right. Oklahoma City was good. I liked Oklahoma City. It had a good turnout, a good facility, and yeah, that was a good one that I need to continue to go to. There was another one up there in Oklahoma that somebody told me was bigger than the one in Oklahoma City. It wasn't Enid. It was some other place.
Well, you got Altus. It's being held at the Altus Community Center.
Yeah, Altus is not a very big place either. That's a pretty small time deal. But here again, you got Wichita Falls. It's not that far away, but it's more of a country setting. It's right there on the, I guess, right there between Oklahoma and Texas border.
Well, Belton ain't a big city either, but the problem is, what makes it so good is it's easy driving distance from Dallas, Houston, Austin,
Well, sure, you got a lot of large cities around, you got Waco to the north. You got, well, even Temple's a pretty nice sized town, and yeah, so and there's lots of big cities that draws into Belton. Belton is an excellent central location for a ham fest.
Looks like they moved it.
Why?
It says location is Cadence Bank Center.
I think they just changed the name, but I think the place is still the same.
Well, you may be right, because it does say 302 West Loop 121.
Yeah, I think somebody mentioned that before, and that it was not called the Bell County Expo Center anymore.
Well, I don't. Okay, you may be right. I don't know. Maybe they got the bank to sponsor it.
Well, maybe we could just rob the bank while we're there.
Well, pulling it up on the map, it does seem to be in the same place.
Anyway, come next week, I'll look into it a little bit further.
Okay.
N5 FPD.
All right, K5WXY. Well, I don't know. I'm seeing Bell County Expo Center on the map.
You remember when you used to look at maps, you used to go to the gas station and get, you enter a new state and you'd go to the gas station and get a couple of maps?
Yep, I remember those days.
They had one map that had, it was a book, and it would take you to a certain section, and then it'd say see page 72.
Welcome to the WA5AIR repeater located in Conroe, Texas. For more information, go to southcoastreflector.com.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you may be right. They may have changed the name because I know it was on West Loop 121.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's probably the same place. They're not going to change it. And then, of course, not only in October, but it happens again in April. So there's two shots there within 6 months' time. And, of course, there's the big one over at Cowtown, which that was pretty favorable for us.
Yeah, I'm going to Google Bell County Expo thing and see if it changed names.
I guess, I can travel further than you can because you always have to go take care of that stupid cat.
Well, I don't know. I pulled up Bell County Expo Center and it shows a picture of it. Well, wait a minute. It says CandisBankCenter.com, so hell, I don't know.
I hope Luna didn't hear me say that.
Yeah, she's laying on the floor in her room.
So she has graduated now and she has a room of her own?
Well, I think I told you the story. When she came here, my late girlfriend's grandson had grown up, got married, and had separated from his wife, and he wanted a place to live, asked me if he could come live here. My late girlfriend had already died by that point, and I said, sure, come on. He was in his early 30s, I guess, at the time, maybe late 20s, I can't remember. But I'd known him since he was 12, so I said, yeah, come on. So he moved in, and then he brought this girlfriend of his over that had this damn cat. And anyway, the room that she's in is the room that they stayed in. And I've always closed off that door and the door to this bathroom here and this radio room and my bedroom when I left, and all she had was the living room and the kitchen and the utility room where a box is. And she sat outside that door one night just crying like crazy. And I went and opened the door and I said, well, go on, there's nobody in there. But she carried on like this for several days, sitting outside that door crying when it was closed. So I just said, never mind. I just left it open. And now she sleeps in there. She doesn't sleep with me in the bed anymore. I'll get up in the middle of the night and go look, and she's up on the bed in that bedroom. I mean, I don't know if I didn't think she had a memory like that. It's been over 5 years since they were here, but she seems to remember them, and she goes in there. And well, when you went down the hall, I got up and go to the bathroom too, and looked across the hall through that room, and she was laying there on the floor in there.
So did you open up the bathroom door for her as well?
No, she's got her box. I keep that door closed, and I keep the radio room closed when I'm not here, but I started leaving that bedroom door open for her. I still close off my bedroom when I leave.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, where I was going with all that, we probably just need to draw a circle around where you are, because you got to come home every night. But I don't, normally it doesn't matter, because that's like when we went to Oklahoma City. I just drove up the day before, and that worked out really well. That Oklahoma City was a nice hamfest. I thought they had it set up pretty nicely.
Okay, so apparently that domed building is really the Bell County Expo Center, and they may have changed that to the Candace Bank Center, but I don't think it's going to be in there. It's going to be in that same raggedy building next to it, remember?
Right, it's the same parking lot. It's the same everything. They're not going to change all that. There's too many people that come. I don't know what the attendance is. It'd be interesting to find out how many hams really showed up there.
I don't know, but it's probably got to be one of the bigger ones because of its location.
Well, it was bigger than the one at Fort Worth that you and I went to, or that was Louisville, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the Louisville one's, I think, fairly new.
That was a pretty nice deal. It was a little difficult to find the entrance for you, but it turned out all right.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think that one's been going on very long. Of course, Plano was the big one, but COVID got that.
I need to think about getting a lawnmower started, and I don't know. It's just so doggone hot today. I guess I'm spoiled because yesterday was so nice.
Well, the problem with Friday is it's supposed to rain starting Friday evening or late afternoon or something. Yeah, I'm showing 99 degrees in Waxahachie right now.
I just pulled it up. It says 104 degrees in Weatherford.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But I'm up north.
Yeah, but you're also out west where it's drier and the temperature rises faster than it does where it's humid. Now, I'm showing 92 for tomorrow, and then Saturday I'm showing 82 with a 30% chance of storms, and Sunday 85 with a 50% chance of storms, and Monday 87 with a 30% chance of rain, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the weather. There's rain every day for the next 3 or 4 days, but that's okay. At least the temperature will be dropping to a reasonable amount. It says tomorrow the temperature high is supposed to be 97, so I don't know that I can tell any difference between 97 and 104, but the tomorrow night's supposed to get down to 63. That ought to be kind of nice.
Well, see, that's where you beat us. We're only supposed to be down to 73 on Friday night, 70 on Saturday, 69 on Sunday, 68 on Monday, 67 on Tuesday, and back in the 70s for the rest of next week for lows.
That's what I said. I live up north.
Yeah, higher elevation, too. Well, you know, I want to move to Red River, New Mexico, and currently there it is cloudy and 74 degrees.
Well, I told Zhonghua that I would consider moving, but she said, well, she keeps saying that our place is too big and it's just me and her, and which is true. But when I mentioned something about moving, she says, well, I don't want to move up north where it's cold. And I said, well, we don't have to move where it's cold to be cooler. But she says, well, I think we need to stay in Weatherford. And I said, you know what? If I pack up and move, I'm certainly not going to move to another place in Weatherford.
Yeah, well, Red River, New Mexico, they got a chance to rain Thursday, well, today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but their overnight lows are the highest overnight low for the next 10 days is 50 degrees. The rest of the days are 47 and 48 and 49. And by the way, you had to mention Luna. She's in here clawing on the back of my chair now.
Well, I guess you didn't buy that pint of milk, did you?
No.
You know, they like cheese, too. And do you like cheese?
Yeah, you know, but the funny thing is, she doesn't beg like a dog, and if I drop something, she doesn't run over and get it off the floor. I mean, she just eats out of her bowl, and but she'll let me know when that's empty, or it doesn't even have to be empty. If she can see the shiny bottom of it, she starts bitching.
I guess I better sign out of here.
They'll inject the needle, and then once the needle is injected and a little blood comes through, then they connect it to the syringe.
That's the way I do it. I don't ever go directly into it. You got more chance of getting inside there instead of hitting it or missing it or going through it or whatever.
Man, I didn't know we had this many doctors.
I dropped out a year and a half.
I don't blame you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I'd wish that on anybody. The money was great, but damn.
And the money's not that great. That's the whole thing. This is the myth that they tell you. If you come from a rich family, the money gets great because all your student loans and everything are paid for. But if you're an average person, who has to take out medical loans for school and whatever, by the time you complete the 8 years of training, and then you go into your residency, your malpractice insurance is so high, unless you were in a good hospital that covers that, your salary is not that great by comparison. And then you practice for 10 to 12 years, and then finally your malpractice insurance is at a level that is bearable, and you can make a decent salary. That's why so many doctors end up getting divorced 2 and 3 times, and they don't start to make any good living until they get into their mid-40s. By that time, their student loans are paid off, and their malpractice is low.
That's crazy. That's another thing that's out of control in the country is that cost. I've learned so much this week about a lot of universities and colleges that I don't know. I don't need to be talking about them right now. But anyway, that's another thing that probably needs to be gotten under control.
I
I only have one friend that I went to school with who's still practicing medicine. Most of them went out, left it, and did something else different. And most of them were never happy. It's not everybody is like TV, where they become a neurosurgeon or a major cardiothoracic surgeon and can make and good money on billing.
I'm trying to think of that guy, that Dr. House. Not everybody's a Dr. House.
Yeah, dietitian. There's a good show. It was a series on Fox several years ago, but you can see it all on Netflix right now, called The Resident. And The Resident is kind of, I can say, maybe an up-to-date version of a guy who's like House, somewhat. And very interesting story, but if you recently Malcolm Jamal Warner just passed away. He was a star on that show from the second season on. Very good, played a very good role in that show. But it's a very good show of basically diagnosticians and different surgeons at their specialty, and gives you a very good
Roger B. from here on the South Coast Reflector.
Big Pharma works in the hospitals.
Yeah, Roger.
Sean, I was hearing the same thing. This N5 DRI mobile.
T5 ACV mobile.
You're just leaving your client?
Yeah, it's coming from the Great Pass Hub,
SDRs back.
All right, was it good?
Delicious. It had Sweet Baby Ray's sauce on it, but I ate half of it with Sweet Baby Ray's.
All right, well, I didn't get either one of y'all. I heard Jason and Sean in there, so one of you guys go first.
Some pork chops and put them in a pan, and then get you some green beans and put in there, and then some mushroom soup, and then seal that up and put it in the oven. That comes out really
going on.
nice.
You're not hitting the 920 correctly. I believe they're trying to get linked up with the Grants Pass Hub.
Mushrooms are good for you. They're a probiotic.
Roger, I love mushrooms.
I got some in my spaghetti sauce that I'm cooking right now.
Oh, that's good.
I went to this restaurant near me called Perry's, and they're famous for their pork chops.
Yeah, I'll copy that, Sean. I just hopped over to the 900 machine in New Waverly. Is this any better?
Wow. Great. Heck, that's a whole tenderloin in there.
Oh, you're making it just fine, man. And they're trying to get that Grants Pass. Somebody's keying up on it. It's I can't hear anything on it. I just hear it key up and hear something in the background. But yeah, you're making it in just fine, man.
Yeah, the average person
copy that thing. And Brandon, hey, I was going to ask you, how's everything going with your clients? I guess you're just leaving now, heading back to the house.
Hello, Mr. Makeita. I was going to say, Brandon, if you keep doing that,
I made some pork chops, Freddie, the other day.
I'm watching a movie
I slapped them in some tortillas, and I ate 5 of them at one time.
You pig. Oink, oink, oink.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, copy that, Charlie. They've keyed up a couple times, but it hasn't been too problematic. So if it was turning into a problem, I was going to kick it off. But yeah, Jason, man, just got my boy from school and finished all that up, and we're headed home for the day. So it's been a good day, man. I met a new client today, so could turn into some work. Not a whole lot of work, just a little project, but could eventually turn into more work down the road, which is kind of exciting. So it's been a good day, man. But man, I'm tired. This day started early, and I'm not even home yet. So it's been a long day.
We're splitting up.
Y'all doubled.
Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, copy that. Well, tell Mr. Stinky Feet in the back seat there. I said hello.
Makes it with Sweet Baby Ray's, and then I add ketchup to half. I cut it in half, and I add ketchup.
I will. He just grinned. He's watching a show on his
on his Chromebook, and he's got headphones on, but yeah, he heard you.
And I ruined it. And I said, I'll luck catching.
Yeah, copy that. I was going to say, he's probably going to give you the look over his monitor. Yeah, that's too funny.
Yeah, they're getting a divorce.
Yeah, man, we need to get out. You and I go do a photo one day or something, man. That was fun going out that one time. I need to get out and do some more. I kind of took a break this summer, as hot as it was.
It's been a long
but
time.
I want to get out and do some more. We're thinking about making a trip to Galveston next weekend. Just the three of us. It's our anniversary, and making an anniversary trip and go down to Galveston for the day. But if we do, we might go to Galveston State Park. And play in the beach and all that kind of stuff. And if we do, I might sneak some HF gear in the truck and fire up a photo while I'm there.
Gary's not gonna like it.
Yeah, was he from Massachusetts?
Yeah. Yeah, copy. That definitely sounds like a lot of fun. Heck, yeah. And I'll have to check my schedule. Unfortunately, working in power generation, we're going to be pretty well swamped for like the next 3 months. I mean, it's just absolute chaos. When they're talking about the busiest seasons they've had, they're predicting it to be worse than what we had this last spring. We had like 17 jobs going on at one time about 4 months ago. And, oh man, my head's already spinning.
You're used to those brands that come from Aldi.
Yeah, I've got, I'll tell you, there was a brand that I got, I think,
yeah, I hear that, man. Well, hopefully the more work you put in, hopefully they reciprocate a little bit of that with some zeros in the bank account. But, man, just don't kill yourself working for somebody else.
I see very, very little name brands here. I miss used.
Yeah, copy that. Yeah, no doubt. It's tough, man. Yeah, the bad thing is the powers that be don't want to hire anybody else, and those of us office desk jockeys that do all the logistical coordination and vendor coordination and everything, it just makes it really tough for us. I mean, I used to be a field engineer back in the day, but now I kind of just help be the puppet master in the background. But man, it definitely wears you out when you got all these jobs going on. I'm shipping parts all over the country. It gets pretty taxing. A lot of long hours. Sometimes working nights, weekends. It gets a little crazy.
Just right.
7300-2.
Yeah, 7300 Mark II. Oh, maybe just a 7300. They probably start going cheap.
You'll pick one of those up for about $800.
Oh yeah, did I mention the marshal's salary?
Yeah, under $1,000 now.
Yeah, that's what I figure. On the used market, they'll really be going cheap.
Yeah, that sucks, man. You gotta set up some boundaries or something, man. Like
George,
you can only work so many days in a row. After after 3 months or 90 days of working, every day in a row, you gotta have a day off or something.
I can imagine the amount of hell I would catch with that.
Yeah, copy that. It's
7610s like Tony.
I definitely can appreciate what you're saying, but the problem is our business is primarily transactional. We've got a couple of long-term agreements with people with scheduled maintenance, but we're basically on the call, I guess, whenever somebody
it would be the first
has an issue. They want us to put on the Superman cape and spring in action.
My first radio was a Yaesu, and I had two Yaesus. I had a 901 DM and then a 757. And then I went to Kenwoods, and I still got a Kenwood 450. And then I got an opportunity to buy.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I know. I'm just giving you a hard time, but man, just make sure you take care of yourself. Life's too short to kill yourself working for somebody else. But or you can go into work for yourself, work twice as hard for half as less. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I think they do a good job. I mean, I don't think that there's any doubt.
Yeah, copy that. Well, shoot, I was going to ask you if you need somebody to push a broom over there at Boyd Check. I can push a mean broom.
But a lot of the icons I really like to receive.
Yeah, that was the one thing, because I had my UHF VHF, I had a 970H, and that had a great receiver.
Yeah, I've been doing okay this summer,
and,
man. We've been a little light on projects this summer, which I needed to have some more work to fill in some of the gaps, but I'm not completely complaining that it's been a little light this summer, just because not having to be out there in the killer heat working. But I've had a couple jobs that we've had to do during the summer, man. And it's just brutal out there. But still not, not worse than a couple years ago. But yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard on the body, especially getting older.
Oh, copy that. Yeah, I totally understand. It definitely takes it out of you for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to take it as it comes. I mean, this is my first kind of summer with these guys, and we're a lot slower than we should be at this time of year right now. So it gives me a little bit of opportunity. Left Cowboy's house, KK5 CPY. I was over there, rag chilling him for a couple hours, and I'm still answering, work phone calls and all, but it does give me a little bit of poetic liberty. But whenever they call, I got to spring into action. So, good and bad, I guess, in some ways.
Just about all of them, except for the new ones.
I didn't know you'd had any of them.
Wait, did you say you just left Cowboy's house?
761, 51, 740, 720,
well, a little bit ago, I just hopped on the 45, passing that, whatever that outlet mall is when I met you that one weekend.
I just don't remember him having an ICOM. He was a Yazoo guy.
Well, dang, man, I couldn't live walking distance from Cowboy. I mean, I don't know, we're a mile apart or something. I don't know. We're not too terribly far apart.
Now he's an SDX man. Voodoo.
Yeah, now voodoo.
Oh, man, I didn't realize you were that close. I would have called you on the cell phone or something, see what you're up to. But, yeah, I'd like to check out some of your HF and other pew projects you got going on next time.
The 7610 has a better receiver.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm scared of guns.
3K filter and put in there, and then it made it a lot more better.
Yeah, me too. Me too. They're both scared and very respectful.
Well, I can hear you good today, Chad. I guess when I hear you good, I'm on the Kindle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Well, and it wouldn't have mattered because while you were there, I wasn't even home anyway. I've been out running around all day. I've been across Willis and Conroe and the Woodlands and back to Willis and everywhere else in between. So I haven't been home since, I don't know, about 7 o'clock this morning.
All right.
Oh, copy that. I was thinking of that old country song. I guess it was a remake, but the guy Brian Burns that I've Been Everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of remind me of that song. I forget who did that originally, but no, he did it, made it kind of popular back in the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Good afternoon, Chad. You're sounding good in Round Rock.
What's going on there, Happy?
Oh, Johnny Cash did I've Been Everywhere. And I think Hank Snow might have did a version of that as well. But yeah, I like that song.
Is Caitlin just never going to play the rest of the year?
I don't think so. I don't think they want her to play.
Yeah, I'll definitely copy that.
Making money,
man, that's working for yourself, that's definitely an admirable thing, but yeah, you're kind of on the hook the same thing. When the customer calls, you got to spring into action, right? Because they're faithful whoever answers the phone.
Yeah, that's what it kind of sounds like.
They're broke?
Hell yeah, they're broke. Why do you think they were making all that crap up to begin with?
Oh, absolutely, man. You're not wrong there. I've had many nights where we've had to jump on something, during the night or on a weekend or whatever. I mean, I don't do that very often just because most of my clients don't operate on weekends and holidays and stuff like that. But I do have a few that do, and so we've had to jump on some things. But I've been fairly lucky. Most of my clients are conventional, 9 to 5 clients.
kind of like you, happy. They went downhill, so I get to where I ain't been paying much attention to it anymore.
Yep. I guess the playoffs might get pretty exciting.
Copy that. Unfortunately, in my industry, power generation, they work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Doesn't matter Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, whatever. They don't care. And it's all about money for them. So the shorter you can make their outage duration, they call it, breaker to breaker. When you shorten that distance from when they open the breaker and give you the unit, when you close the breaker and give it back to them, they're happy. So, I've worked countless Christmases, Thanksgivings, etc., pounding the pavement, these power plants, but, pays the bill.
What's the deal, Jimmy, man? That receiver on that 2000 sucks, but you hear better on it, huh? I guess you can hear me now.
Huh?
I said, what's the deal? You can't hear on your SDR, but you can hear on that 2000. You know the receiver sucks in that one.
No.
Well, hopefully you're almost home. I got about 10 or 12 minutes till I'm home. I'm ready, man. I'm hungry too.
SDR this morning, it blue screened on me, and I just took it all out of line.
Same. I'm actually just a couple minutes from the house. I was going to start trying to wrap things up a little bit. Hopefully, we didn't scare Sean off talking about guns and stuff. Hopefully, he's still out there listening. He can maybe finish up your ride along with you. But anyway, Brandon, it's always good talking to you, brother. And we'll talk again soon. K5ACP, this is N5. I'll be clear on your transmission, buddy. Have a good day.
Well, that's the way this computer here was doing too. It's blue screen.
Well, Jason, always good chatting with you, man. I feel honored. I got to talk to you twice in one day, man. But have a good one, sir. Stay safe out there. K5ACP still mobile for about another 10 minutes or so. You're not going to run me off talking about guns. I lost all mine in a boating accident, but
I'll probably be back on it tomorrow.
I don't mind that I do enjoy it.
Just ticked me off.
This is the WA5AIR repeater located in Conroe, Texas. With
I figured a country boy like you aren't really scared of guns.
It didn't do it. It did it, Chad, when I was on XP.
High five, ULL, lurking in the mist.
Had it set up to boot. Let me look.
Yeah, the only thing I'm scared of is when somebody in the neighborhood starts shooting and wonder why I wasn't invited.
Running XP, and when I moved it up to Windows Vista Service Pack 2, it didn't blue screen.
Yeah, I get a little worried. We got some neighbors around us that like to shoot, and we all live on like 5 to 10 acres, so we don't have huge tracts of land. 5 to 10 acres, all everybody's got, and they'll start shooting at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I get a little worried about that because I'm not 100% confident they know where those bullets are going. Yeah, come on in, ULL, man. Gang's all here. K5ACP.
Compatibility mode at all. It blue screened about 3 times on XP compatibility mode.
Yes, sir. 1, 2 in the morning is a red flag for me with projectiles.
Now the other computer,
Well, in my area, they might be shooting hogs. If they're shooting a hog, I'm good with that.
Never blue screened on me yesterday.
We got 5, 10 acre tracts around here too. And most of us got a good backstop set up with an actual range set up to actually shoot if we're going to shoot.
Well, that's pretty weird. There's got to be something in a computer, I would think, because I don't see why the radio would cause that problem.
Also, that other program that I couldn't run, that Mike was playing with, that Easy Net.
Yeah, the only time I've ever shot at night was, shooting a snake, the Aaron Copperhead out running around. But, it's typically my 22 suppressed pistol, so it's, it's mount spark quiet. But that's all I ever shoot at night. And we don't have any hogs out where we're at. Everybody's got 5 or 10 acres, everything's fenced. There's no hogs running around. But, we got people out there start shooting at, the middle of the night, darn near full auto fire and stuff. And that's, that bothers me a little bit.
I don't try to run easy neck, any easy NEC. It wouldn't.
I'm agree with Sean. You got to have a nice backstop and have a setup for that. You know, a range is part of the beauty.
I've been trying to
get
AI
be done right.
to help me with it. We can't find it. We can't figure out what's wrong with it.
Yeah, I think a single shot or maybe two shots at 1 a.m. may be one thing, but full auto fire at 2 a.m. that's probably not a good situation.
Not a single problem out of any other program on there. But if I try to run Power SDR on it or try to run like Easy NEC, it won't run. I can run Steam. I can play that game, Steam. The War Thunder game. I can do all that stuff on it. I can do everything on it. It never blue screen.
Yeah, my parents used to live up next to you, Sean, up in Beat Ice, and we had about 40 acres up there, and so I had actually bulldozed and built my own private range. So I had a 400-yard range out there with berm built, had target stands, I had benches, and man, I had a nice range, a real nice range up there. And I mean, they sold about 5 years ago, moved into town, but as they were getting older. But it was nice to have a private 400-yard range.
And I didn't have any problems.
Thumbs up on that. That's how it's done.
Today I put 272
when you hear auto fire over here on Lake Houston, that's never a good sign.
And it wouldn't run there. It blue screened on that. And so I moved it down to Vista, the last version of Vista, and it seems to work. It seems to be running on that.
W0FH. Yeah, I get my neighbor will call me every now and then and say, hey, we're going to go shoot.
Weird.
All right. I'm not busy. I said, can I come join you?
I'm not that,
that's about it around here. Nobody really bothers anybody. But yeah, we got hogs out here. They've been, matter of fact, they just hit one of my neighbors pretty hard the other night. So yeah, every now and then I'll do a little carousing out here after dark and see if I can see anything thermal and try to get rid of them.
I was telling Gene that this morning, that I really like. That's one of the things I like about a knob radio. I can separate it from that other stuff, and you just don't have any problems out of them.
Yeah, if I can get energetic enough, I'm going to hook my 1000D up back over here on the other side.
Yeah.
Coming in?